Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Welcome to North Carolina Weekend. I'm Deborah Holt-Noel. The topic of race can be controversial and divisive, but as producer Clay Johnson shows us, a new exhibit at the Museum of Life and Science in Durham is dispelling a lot of myths about race in our society.
University of North Carolina senior Krista Carter is learning that race is a man-made concept rather than a natural phenomenon.
It's really based on how you perceive people. We all grow up in certain areas or having a certain picture of what life means or what race means, but this exhibit really explains how race has been constructed both on biological standards and just social standards.
The exhibit that Krista and her fellow UNC anthropology students are visiting is simply called Race. It's on display at the Museum of Life and Science in Durham. The American Association of Anthropology sponsored the exhibit to help people understand that race is not a fact, but rather an idea that has shaped American society.
Science is proving there's no such thing as race, that we all come from a common gene pool, but it's more sociology and culture and other things that have created the concept of race.
The exhibit examines the biological aspect of race, how humans have migrated around the globe from Africa over thousands of years, and how skin color is determined by environmental factors.
This exhibition differs from other exhibits in terms of race because it focuses on the biology of race, the genetic variation. But in addition to that, it also takes into consideration history and how race has impacted history and how it impacts our day-to-day lives.
The exhibit explores how the concept of race was originally developed by early European explorers and how it was adopted in American society to justify discrimination and oppression.
It really highlights some points that we've been talking about in class. And we've been talking about how race is a social construct and it's not necessarily biological.
In addition to exploring the biology and history of race, this exhibit also puts race into a contemporary context. It looks at how the concept of race has affected the world we live in today. This display graphically illustrates how the concept of race has created wealth disparities between blacks and whites. The exhibit has many interactive components, including puppets to help parents explain the concept of race to their children, and a place where visitors are asked to answer the question, "Who are you?"
You can hear other people's responses and what they've dealt with in terms of race, but there's also an opportunity for people to sit down and to document their personal experience as it relates to race as well.
These anthropology students say this is an important exhibit for everyone to see.
I think it's important because in a changing world with changing ideas, we need to encourage people to be more inclusive and to move away from our historical past.
Just understanding how important race is kind of on a social scale again, and politically how it's been involved in our lives, kind of something that you don't really notice but you take for granted.
We may know that people are a different skin color because of the area that their ancestors came from, but when we look at them we may judge them on a stereotype that we may not believe, but it's just there for some reason. It's unfortunate that that's the case, but I feel like it's important to recognize that so you can work on it.
Hopefully from people getting a better understanding that we are all genetically connected, we'll hopefully get along a little better than we do.
Race, Are We So Different? Runs at the Museum of Life and Science until January 22nd. The museum is at 433 West Murray Avenue in Durham, and they're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sundays noon to 5. For more information, give the museum a call at 919-220-5429 or check them out online at ncmls.org.
Podcasts on unctv.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.